What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. And on this episode, I'm going to be giving you my spoiler-free review of Nevermore: The Raven Effect. So this documentary chronicles probably one of the most underrated minds in the history of professional wrestling, and one of the smartest minds in the history of wrestling, Scott Levy, aka Raven. Uh, so this documentary chronicles his entire life and career, through his eyes and the eyes of those who know him best. Chris Jericho, some of his childhood friends, his partner Selena Kale, the Blue Meanie, Billy Corrigan, uh, yes, that Billy Corrigan, uh, and so many more, man, and so many, and Perry Saturn too. He's in the documentary. He's a prominent part of it as well. Um, Obviously, you couldn't get some guys due to contractual obligations, but still a very good documentary. Nonetheless, I would have loved to have seen, to have, heard Paul Heyman's thoughts on Raven's character in the documentary, because he has gone on record in saying that Raven was one of his favorite characters, and Raven did so Raven did so much, innovated so much in the business, as far as angles go. He was the first to do a pregnancy angle in ECW. He was the first to do kind of a father and son angle, and the and of course the angle with Tommy Dreamer, and fighting over Beulah McGillicuddy, and and Raven said that, he says in the documentary that angle was partly based on his life. He was the fat kid that nobody wanted to deal with, and then as he got older, and started to get in shape, women would flock to him. But as a little kid, he was an outcast by his parents, outcast to his parents, and all the things they had to deal with mentally as far as that goes. And he talks about his drug use, and not being loved by his father. His father never told Raven that he loved him and all that. So it's a very compelling documentary. And like I said, as far as in ring psychology goes, Jake the Snake wrote the book on it, but Raven definitely was a very, very heavy contributor to that book. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with ring psychology, it's basically how to get in your opponent's head even before locking up, and how to capture the crowd, and keep the crowd in the palm of your hand throughout the match, uh, because part of our job as wrestlers is to tell a story with our bodies and our words too. So whatever we say on the microphone has to translate in the ring. I often get asked a question. Describe wrestling to somebody who doesn't understand it, and the way that I do my best to describe it is, I equate it to an artist painting, an artist painting. So you have your paint, and then you have your concept in your head, and you have a blank canvas, and our job as wrestlers is to paint our picture with our bodies and words, and thus creating a beautiful masterpiece at the end. So that's professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is an art form. I don't care what anybody tells you. We are artists. We are artists. We are we're pretty much a lot of things. but artist is one of the most prominent things. But no, as far as like I said, as far and I got the chance to, I get the chance to when I was training and coming up in the business, I got the chance to sit in with Raven and on one of his seminars, and it's absolutely incredible the way he approaches the business, and the way he puts things together. It's absolutely, it's priceless, and those are the experiences that I'll never forget as a young performer. Like any, I always tell my students when they ask, what to when I'm guest teaching at my friend's school, they always ask me what who should I study, like, or what matches should I watch. And one of the one of the very first things I tell them is to watch the one of Raven's most prominent angles, which was his angle with the Sandman, and the Sandman's real life son, Tyler Fullington, in ECW back in 1996 and 97. And this, like, that was a really controversial angle, because it's like Raven was kind of portrayed as like a cult leader. Sandman was the good father, even though he was like a drunk, but he was still a good father. But then Raven was trying to get Sandman's son to kind of turn against him. And it's and then you had Sandman's wife at the time involved. It was a really good, but very good, very controversial angle. And like I mentioned before, the pregnancy angle. You know, what do you call it? That involved Tommy Dreamer as well. So like, just to hear the stories behind those angles, and and how they all came together for the people, from the people that were there, is just really cool. It's a really good documentary. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, maybe you should check it out, because it gives you like an insight into the mind of, like I said, one of the greatest minds in the business. So even if you're not a wrestling fan, check it out. But if you are a wrestling fan and you know Raven's work, and you want to know more about the person that Raven is, that he really doesn't talk about, like, he talks about his angles and his career and stuff like that. But this, you really get to know Raven the person, Scott Levy. So definitely check it out, man. It's called Nevermore: The Raven Effect. It's on Amazon Prime. You can rent it from basically anywhere that you get your video on demand stuff at. It's there. Find it, look for it, and watch it and enjoy it, man. Let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments. If you've seen the film, what you think about it. Let's talk about it down in the comments, man. But anyway, that is gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And of course, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.